welcome to the Doc Settle, your gateway to an in-depth connection between sports medicine and the latest events in sports, fantasy, and betting. Today's show is brought to you by the Health and Wellness Depot. Unlock the power of well-being. I'm Dr. Mikey B. With me, as always, CJ, the sports enthusiast, and Dr. MJB, the legend. Gentlemen, another week. How are we doing?
We're doing. It's tough to be a Giants fan, but we're doing. How you guys doing?
Yes, it is. We had the pleasure of sitting through that debauchery, massacre, this poor football. We got to witness it live. The sports enthusiast and I on Sunday night.
Well, I don't think it was a massacre, but
felt like one.
Wasn't great.
Just felt terrible.
Well, I mean, to kick this show off, I think we should start right there. You both were at the game. You both saw it. What were your thoughts and interpretations of Russell Wilson?
I'll let you go first because I know what I want to say.
Well, then, yeah, I mean, I know that historically, Chris has been a bigger fan of Russ than I have. I also know that two weeks ago he went wild, and I'm like, okay, I was wrong. I stand corrected. And then Sunday night came back and like, I know what I'm talking about. No, I mean, he was not good. Not good. I mean, this offense is terrible. I mean, listen, there's been clips of Malik Neighbors going on from his rookie year last year. This is one particular clip that occurred in the locker room post game. And it was when Daniel Jones basically was sat down for the rest of the year before being outright released. And he outright and said, like, it's not the quarterback. It's not the quarterback. And now here we see Daniel Jones going off in Indianapolis, and right. And now we're still in this situation where we had Russ, I know that he's an older, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So this is what we saw. Okay. This is what we saw on Sunday night. The Broncos, Russell Wilson. And so I think, listen, as a Giants season ticket holder, I don't want to go to the next game, right? If Russ was playing, I'm not going. Like, I'm not going. I'm losing sleep because it's a late night game, and it's a lot of money to go to these games, a lot of time and investment, and most importantly, I'm missing out on good football because I'm sitting in the stadium. I can't watch all the other games because I'm at the game, and that's what I spent my entire Sunday doing, watching that pathetic display. No, so at least Jackson Dart, I think, is going to give us a spark now that they left him the starting role. Do I think that we're going to win? No. But at least we could say, hey, maybe this is the development of our future, like it was Eli Manning. When he first went in, it was abysmal. It's terrible. But it's got to start sometime, and if he's going to be the guy, I mean, we're no longer playing for anything. So.
Okay, so I said it last year and the year before that. I didn't think it was DJ. Like you said, Malik Neighbors said it's not the quarterback. There's obviously more underlying problems with this offense. I think, once again, it starts with the offensive line.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that all day. I think everybody's overreacting with the way Russell Wilson played. I'm not going to say that he played great. He certainly did not. I agree with that. But he's a veteran. Look at how he played week 2 against Dallas. Benching him, bringing Jackson Dart in this early, I think is a massive mistake. And I think that Brian Daboll is doing this specifically for the case that he thinks that this is maybe a Hail Mary to save his job, because if the Giants keep playing this way, it's going to go downhill. But again, DJ wasn't the problem. Look how well he's doing with the Colts. You get him an offensive line, he's playing way better. PFF rankings, 2025 NFL secondary. Number 1, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. So we just played, according to PFF, the second best ranked secondary in the NFL. It showed. The wide receivers couldn't create separation. Every play was tough in the secondary. We had some short passes that were, sure, there were short gains, but there was nothing magnificent. I know Russell Wilson struggled in the red zone, but the entire offense did. The Giants' offense was Cam Skattebo, which that was very exciting. I'm obviously rooting for Jackson Dart, but I think this is a Hail Mary for Brian Daboll to say, let's see what it is. So it's harder to fire a coach if you're bringing the rookie in. and you're trying to work with.
I agree with you in this fact that. Sorry, go ahead, Mike. Yeah.
Oh, I just have a question, Chris.
Yeah.
So then, because I did watch a good portion of that game. I wasn't at the game like you guys were.
Mhm.
There were times where, as a veteran quarterback, there's just
I'm not
plays
defending.
you
I'm
don't
not
do.
defending. I'm not defending that Russell Wilson did not play well. I'm just giving the devil's advocate of the Chiefs secondary is ranked number 2 in the league. Look how good he played against Dallas, and I just think you're forcing a rookie to go in because the entire offense is terrible.
I agree that the Chiefs secondary is very good, but I'm pretty sure that statistic that you probably pulled up was likely after Sunday night's game, which means that the statistics were so good for the Kansas City Chiefs that would have skyrocketed them to the number 2 spot because of how piss poor the performance of the Giants passing game was.
Posted on July 8th, 2025
okay.
at 7:54 a.m.
Well, to my point, then they're probably now the number 1 team and the number 1 secondary after playing the Giants with those statistics because that's how bad it was. Listen, I can't get on board. I hear what you're saying, but I can't let Russ slide on this. It's 4th and 10, and you're throwing the ball out of bounds? What are you doing? Like, we have nothing to lose. This is all we have left to score, and you're just tossing the ball away? What are we saving it for? Your stats? Like, and then, like, when you have Malik Neighbors in the back of the end zone, you throw it so short to him that the people are like, yeah, you put up to Malik. Yeah, we would try to give him a play. No, you didn't. That's what was said in his press conference. You didn't give him a play because his only play was an OPI. The only play he had was to make an offensive pass interference call to defend the pick because it was so short. He can't go.
Yeah, it was terrible. I agree. So it was terrible. It was well underthrown.
My thing is that you like, as bad of an offense and everything that we played, that was played, a lot of that I feel like came from the quarterback because there was not like he didn't even target Malik Neighbors in the first half. Might not even in the first 3 quarters. I got to go back and look at the stats, but I know it was in the first half.
I agree with you. I watched it. He didn't even look his way. A lot of the plays. I completely agree with you on that. I'm not disagreeing. I just think that this is a forced decision to put Jackson Dart in early. That's all I'm saying.
So then let me ask you this question. Mike thinks Russell played bad.
Do you think it's time for Jackson Dart to start and take over?
Well, so I have a 2-part to that. Let me just add to that. Yes, answer that question, Mike. But then for both of you guys, if not Jackson Dart, would you have preferred to see Jameis Winston starting?
Yeah, good question. So here's my take on it. You know, I was all for letting Jackson Dart sit and learn as long as Russ gave us an opportunity to win. And the problem with just letting Jackson Dart continue to sit is that you have 52 other active roster players that are going out there trying to win every week. And to just sit a guy when he might give you the best opportunity to win is terrible for the team. Like you're still playing to win. You have all these guys that are employed to do nothing but try to win. So how can you be the head coach and be like, hey, we're not going to sit Jackson Dart because we're just saving him. Like if they feel that he's able to give the team the ability to win because Russ's quarterback play was that bad, then I think you do start him. Because at this point now, it's just going to be, hey, you're getting reps because there is no expectation. We're not going anywhere. So my whole thing is like, if we're going to give the kid practice reps and exposure, it's just like now it's like preseason all over again because we're done, right? We're 0-3. That gives us less than 1% chance of making the playoffs already. And of that, are we really going to go in there and beat the Chargers, who are arguably a top 5, top 3 team in the NFL right now? Absolutely not. Not against that defense. So I'm saying is if they think that Jackson actually can give them the better opportunity to win, you got to play him because if anything, he's just going to get.
I don't. Do you think? But I guess that's the underlying question, right? Like, do you think he's going to give us a better chance to win, or do you think it's a move for them to save their jobs? Because they're definitely in the hot seat.
I think it's definitely a move to save the jobs. That's undeniable. I really do agree with you. I think that's the move. It's a move to save the jobs, but it also still might give us the best opportunity to win because
Okay.
Russell Wilson historically, his games like if you look at his stats when pressured and when not pressured, when not under pressure, his stats look like the Cowboys game. When he's under pressure, he's of the bottom 30 of 32 starting quarterbacks currently playing in this league. His stats against when under pressure are abysmal. They talk about it all the time on the Giants podcast. John Schmelk laid down those numbers last week. It's very, very, very clear. So we don't know what he's going to look like under pressure. We know that he's a more mobile quarterback. We know that Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix started out right last year, and they had success with their teams. So at this point in time, I'm saying, well, if he's more mobile and they think he's ready, they're going to give the team a spark. He has good chemistry with the receivers. Why not give it a shot? I want both of your takes on that.
I already gave you my take. I think that it's forced. I really hope Jackson Dart obviously works out. I just think it's early. That's all.
Nah, yeah, and I agree with you guys. I mean, after 3 games, because you have Jameis on your roster, I don't know. I'm always of the mindset let the young guys sit, learn a bit longer. So,
right.
So I personally would have trialed Jameis. I know Jackson Dart is second on the depth chart behind the quarterback, so it just makes sense to go to him next. But we even before the season started, I mean, we had reservations as to how they just outright said that Russell Wilson is the incumbent starter. It's like, off of what? Like, what, practice? You want to talk about practice? Like, what was your rationale behind that? It's not like the last 2 years Russell Wilson has played amazing to not even give Jameis a chance, right? So
yeah, I completely agree.
I just don't know like where he sits in all that fold. I do think that Jackson Dart can bring a spark to the team, which they're probably looking for, and I totally agree that it's coaches trying to save their job. But at the same time, I'm wondering, well, why not have him sit longer and just see what you can get in Jameis? But that seems to be a foregone conclusion. So at this point, yeah, I fully support it. You can't go back to Russell. That's the one thing I do agree that cannot be an option. It's funny because me and Mike were talking about this earlier in the week, and then it happened, and I was like, yeah, we knew it was coming. This was after the second loss. It was just a matter of when. I didn't think it was going to be this soon. I thought they would.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's too early
with Jameis, but when you're trying to save your job, you're like, hey, I got to go with who I think could potentially give me the best shot, and that's probably what the coaches are looking at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, are you guys set on the fact that you don't think he can ball out? Like,
no, I'm not saying that.
Because he's playing the Saints in 2 weeks. Like, I think he could fully go off.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't. I'm just of the strategy of sitting your rookie quarterback to grow. That's just a strategy that I
don't disagree.
Well,
it works for some and it doesn't work for others. My whole thing is I don't know what the answer is. Like, how much is he going to grow still by sitting under in a quarterback room that's, it's got a great mind, right?
I mean, you're learning from vets. You're learning from Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson.
Right. So they're still in the quarterback room, right? But like, you're not witnessing any good quarterback play on Sunday. So I don't know how much he's going to learn from that. Whether he's doing the film room with them and he doesn't play, or he's doing the film room with them.
Yeah.
But
I think the transition though, there's 2 parts to it. You're looking at the gameplay. I think Chris and I are looking at also becoming a professional. So you allow them that time. Yeah, he's not going to learn anything on the bench. You're absolutely right. But learning how to be a professional, learning how to watch film, learning how to. I think that gets undermined because I heard like Dion say that. What are you laying on the bench? I think that's false. I think you can learn a lot. Like, I mean, you're not forced into action, right? That's like you going into a new job and you're asked to, hey, you're going to onboard in a week, and then we need you out there seeing.
Yeah, and you're the senior.
You know what I mean? Like, it's right. Oh. I think there is value where you are learning how to be a professional, or just learning the culture of one organization before being thrown with the wolves.
Makes sense.
But you're absolutely right. On the field play, yeah, he's not going to learn much if the quarterback plays abysmal.
That's what I was getting at, yeah. But, well, How about the one shutout this week? I know someone's very happy with it.
Yeah. Dude, when I tell you, I was shocked. On Sunday, I was like, who am I watching? The Panthers? No way, dude, no way. But I'm a realist too. So 30-0. I don't think that we played perfect ball, even though 30.
That's the Panthers and Falcons. For those who are listening, Panthers beat the Falcons 30-0. Mm-hmm. Sorry, continue.
So we didn't play perfect ball. I think there's two tells to that. I think that our defense looked really, really good, but I also think that Michael Penix just looked really, really bad as well. We affected that to an extent with our blitz packages. There's times we would alternate between zone coverage and man. And I think that confused him a bit, but then there's just times he just flat out missed guys. So a collection of that, you're not sustaining drives. And I think over time we were just able to put up points because you got to think about it. We put up 30, but we had one defensive touchdown. We had, I want to say, maybe 3 field goals. You know what I'm saying? That's already like 16 points easily. And then Bryce ran for one, and then we had another rushing touchdown. So it's not like we were putting all these numbers up on offense. I just think that Falcons played really bad, and we capitalized on it. So, but I will say this. All it takes is one game to build confidence. So I'm praying to the heavens, the gods. If you can hear me, please. I need this trend to continue. I'm so tired of being bad. Amen.
Amen. Well, with that being said, I think on the other end of the ball, very interesting. Michael Penix getting benched for Kirk Cousins. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, I think it's pretty wild.
That game was so bad. It doesn't do justice even looking at highlights. There's guys that were just wide open, dude. He could not hit him. And I was like, man, he's playing awful. So I don't understand why bench him as late as they did, right? Like, if you're going to do that, the game was essentially over at that point. So I would have benched him earlier. But when you do that, do you even go back or do you stay with Kirk Cousins for the next game?
Yeah, so I'm looking at that, and it's saying that Raheem Morris, already head coach of the Falcons, already said that Michael Penix Jr. is the starter and their guy going into Week 4.
So why bench him?
That was my question, and that's what I want. That's why I brought it up.
It's interesting.
I find it interesting. Like, if you know that, like, is it just because you were so out of, so out of it? Like, you had no shot at coming back in this game, so we're just gonna start benching our starters, and that's why they put Cousins in, maybe. But it didn't feel like it was that either. It felt like it was too soon for that and too late, to actually try to come back. And it was very weird, very, very weird.
I'm of the mindset of my quarterback's playing bad and we essentially lost. Obviously, if it's like way out of realm, I think that you keep him in and just build confidence for the next game, right? Like, have him throw a bunch of checkdowns, even if you're not pushing a score. At least build some kind of rhythm for the next game. If you know this is going to be your incumbent starter for the next game, to just flat out bench him, it was mind-boggling. I was like, but then say that the other guy's your quarterback, because Kirk Cousins came in and he looked great. So it was like, oh, okay, now we have a problem again. And it's like, you created the problem.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, that was a great win.
You know, a game that stood out to me, dude, the Eagles and Rams game, man, I was rooting heavy for the Rams. I don't know how much of it you guys saw with the blocked field goals and
I saw that. I can't believe the Rams didn't win that game.
Correct.
I mean, they had that game every which way possible. I'm even friends with a bunch of Eagle fans, and they admitted to me, if you'd believe it, that they can believe they came out with a win in that. So,
yeah, the Rams just faltered. They very disappointing. Very, very disappointing on that end. Another team that I was not expecting to look the way they did, but I mean, listen, the Giants have a lot of problems, right? The Saints have a lot of problems. The Dolphins have a lot of problems. You know who might have the biggest problem? The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. Dude.
Joe Burrow goes down, and they forget how to play football. They already have a terrible defense. You got 48 thrown up by the Vikings, right? Like we already knew that defense was going to be abysmal, but now they can't throw the football. They can't operate anything on offense. I mean, that's affecting people's fantasy teams too. Not that they care, but like Chase Brown not producing, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all not producing.
I'm already seeing these ridiculous, crazy rumors like already where the Bengals should, make a trade for Russ or Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they might make a move. If I'm the Giants, I would shop Russ. I would not shop Jameis Winston as he's under that 2-year contract for $4 million. You have yourself a backup quarterback next season for cheap. So I mean, and he's our guy.
Mike, since you brought up that game, your boy Jake Browning, man, I thought
garbage. I take everything back I said. I apologize to all the listeners. Listen, he once was someone that could get the job done. I stand here before you and apologize for standing behind this gentleman. He had 3 picks the week before, 3+ picks, and then fumbles this week. It was one of the worst displays of football I have seen, and that's coming from a Giants fan. So do not do anything with Jake Browning. If you had picked him up, I am so sorry. Drop his ass yesterday. Okay, we're moving on. I am so sorry. I'm off the Bengals. I'm off Jake Browning. I'm off anything that has to do with Cincinnati, including the Reds. Go Mets.
There's no way I was not going to bring that up, dude.
Yeah.
But moving along, let's get to the next portion of our show. Let's talk about our stardom and sit-ems, okay? I know this is a famous portion of our show that we had going on last season that we're continuing this year. So each of us will have stardom and sit-em, a player that we are going to sit based on either performance or injury, and then someone that we think will have a good week this week. So, Chris, the sports enthusiast, go ahead and kick us off for that.
All right, cool. So my stardom is Breece Hall. The Dolphins have allowed the 8th most rushing yards to backs this season. We all know how the Dolphins have looked so far this year in general. I think that this is a game that Breece Hall decides to really blow off his ceiling, and he's going to be a good start for sure. Going with my sit-em, it's not a massive sit-em. I did go with Chuba Hubbard for the specific reason that New England has allowed the 2nd fewest rushing yards to backs this season, and Rico Dowdle has been getting a much higher usage load for the Carolina Panthers, which is taking some opportunities away from Chuba Hubbard. But I don't think it's a must.
Too.
What's that?
Some goal line stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it's a must sit 'em, but if you have a better option, it's definitely something to look at because I think he had such a good week 3 because of how bad the Falcons were that everyone's going to be like, oh, start him. But based on this New England defense and the matchup, I'd be pretty careful with that.
I like it.
So start Breece Hall and sit Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah. What do you think since you're a Carolina fan?
No, I mean, last game, we definitely split the carries a lot. And I think they like Chuba in the passing game. I mean, not Chuba, Rico Dowdle in the passing game a lot more than Chuba. So that definitely puts a feather in his cap. So, no, it's a good move. And England's defense isn't bad. So, yeah, I think it's smart.
Yeah, okay. I agree. Cool. I like it. I like it.
What do you got for us, Mikey B?
Yeah, so I got a double option here. The sit-em. Marvin Harrison Jr. Sit his ass down, bench him. Listen. I said I wasn't high on him coming into this year, and I drafted him because it was the best player available at the time I had. Because everyone else was gone. He felt to me, and was like, well, this is supposed to be the absolute best player available. Let me take him. Plugged him in my wide receiver 2 spot. Haven't felt good about it. I've regretted it ever since. So that's 3 straight weeks of poor production from Marvin Harrison Jr. So
week 1 wasn't too poor though.
Wasn't too great for a wide receiver 2.
18 fantasy points, 5 receptions, 6
in our league,
1 TD. Yeah, 71 yards.
Well, it's been abysmal. No, he's been in wide receiver too. It's been abysmal since. I'd sit him. And then,
okay,
yeah, I would sit him. I'm not feeling it. And then, trying to pull up my my sheet here. So, and then when looking at when I did this, I was also looking at the fact that they're playing the Seattle Seahawks. So they're the second ranked team in fantasy rushing yards
for sure.
So against receiving, not rushing. So knowing that he's playing the second best defense against fantasy receiving yards and wide receivers, plus his abysmal production in weeks 2 and 3, as CJ helped me note out there, I would say definitely sit Marvin Harrison Jr. in week 4. 2 potential starts. If you have the ability to put Cam Scatterbo in your flex, I like this here. He is playing the Chargers defense, which is a little scary. However, he is the entire New York Giants offense and now will be the premier back, as Tyrone Tracy, unfortunately, will be out a minimum of 2 to 4 weeks due to a dislocated shoulder. So with Cam Scatterbo being the focal point of the offense and now an RB1 for the New York Giants, I think he's a valuable flex option here with the potential to grow into an RB2, but just not this week against the Chargers. Or we have Matthew Golden, who has not had a great amount of fantasy production yet this year. However, last week we saw a trend where he's been growing. We had about 10, 11, depending on your league, fantasy points last week, and they're going up against the worst secondary in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys. So I think that the Green Bay Packers are coming in there with Micah Parsons at the helm,
Absolutely. Micah Parsons
right?
is coming.
He's coming in there ready to just rip them apart. Okay. So knowing that you're going to have the Packers coming, and they historically play the Cowboys very, very well. So
I need to ask you a question.
Jordan Love, who I'm not a big fan of.
That was my question. Why?
I'm not a big fan of. Because, I mean, what do you mean why? He's been inconsistent.
This year? What?
Yeah. Some games their offense looks great, others not so much. Last game it was awful. Right? So this week, I think they're gonna have a big bounce back week. They just played one of the best defenses in the league against the Cleveland Browns. I think that this week they're gonna be like, yeah, we're getting it, it's a get right game, and they just blow up the Dallas Cowboys. Matthew Golden has a breakout rookie game this week.
I like that. I also like Jordan Love. And he played.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's crazy. He played week 1, Detroit Lions. He put up 20 points. Week 2, Washington Commanders, 25. Cleveland Browns defense is electric right now. He only put up 13 points, but that's one week against an unbelievable defense. I don't know how you don't like this guy. I don't know what more he has to do. I've
had over 25 points every week with Lamar, and he played the Bills. He played the Lions.
You're really going to bring up Lamar right now with
Jordan
Love?
I'm just giving examples.
This is terrible.
All right. Well, he's on a lower tier. He's high enough where I'm recommending Matthew Golden, who's his rookie receiver, to get started over Marvin Harrison Jr. So I'm not saying that he's Russell Wilson.
I like to sit Marvin Harrison Jr. because he's playing Seattle. If they weren't playing Seattle, I'm curious to know, would you still sit Marvin Harrison knowing that James Conner's done for the year?
Listen, I think this has become more of a Marvin Harrison thing than an Arizona Cardinals thing. I've been watching a lot of what I can see on ESPN, right? Like, we don't get the 22 film, the coach's film, so you can't see plays fully developed. But what we can see is that from the highlights that they're showing, he ain't creating separation. When he does, the ball's hitting his hands and it's falling to the floor. Like, he's in his head, and I'm not going to let his issues trying to get out of his head impact my fantasy football team. So until he gets out of his head, he's on the bench. He shows me otherwise, we'll let him go back in.
Oh, my God.
Fair enough.
All right. And, yeah, I mean, love Cam Scatterbo. I think he's going to be explosive. I think it's going to be tough against the Chargers, but I think he's going to grow into RB2, like you said, throughout the season.
And for those listening, just so you know, I stand by what I said as I did bench Marvin Harrison, moved my flex receiver into my wide receiver 2 spot, and Cam Scatterbo will be starting as my flex this week against the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay. And then if we can pop up mine. Oh, can one of you guys pop up mine?
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it either.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll just talk. Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it.
Come on,
let's see what you got.
Man, that's very interesting. So
I got you. What is it?
Sitting Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Because I believe, let me double check to see who they're playing. Oh, the Seattle Seahawks. Their defense has been incredible. So
basically just bench the entire Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. And before I love that. I love that. But before you continue, give me your stardom real quick and then you'll continue because I'm going to get this up for us.
So I didn't do QB. I did bench Kyler Murray, and a person to start would be Quinshon Judkins.
Okay, continue with Kyler.
I think
I like that.
Yeah. I think Kyler, Seahawks defense has been amazing. I don't think it's the Sam Darnold show. I think it's the defense and just don't mess it up show. And Sam Darnold's been damn good at that. So I think Seahawks pounds Cardinals this weekend, and I think Kyler Murray doesn't have a good game. Quinshon Judkins, man, I think Browns have a recipe. We have an incredible defense, and we're gonna run the hell out of the ball. I don't care who's at quarterback. That's our recipe. And we're just gonna do that. So for me, I'm like, well, he's gonna get a bulk of carries. I know the Lions defense is formidable, but I mean, this is a recipe. So it's like you can stop it, but we're gonna keep going at you with our running back. And I think he gets a good bulk of the carries, and I think that he has a very impactful game against the Lions. So yeah, I would say sit Kyler Murray, start Quinshon Judkins, book it.
I support it.
Yeah, I
do, especially if you're a fantasy owner of James Conner and you're able to get Quinshon Judkins out there, or you maybe have him on your bench. Like that's a very valuable stardom there. So James Conner, owners, you got Cam Scatterbo, you got Quinshon Judkins, another guy that I want you guys' opinion on. Okay. Right. So the New England Patriots, they're very interesting for me because they have Travion Henderson, right? Who's Quinshon Judkins' counterpart from OSU, another rookie running back. And Ramondre Stevenson has been fumbling the ball quite a bit. I've been hearing a lot of chatter on it might be a matter of time before Henderson moves into that RB1 spot. His fantasy production has not been great, but it's just someone to keep an eye on. As if this continues, he might get a bigger role, and we might see more fantasy production out of him. Whether if that interests you, I doubt he's available in any leagues, but you might be able to line up a simple trade. As many fantasy owners are very displeased with his production thus far, you might be able to snag him before he takes that RB1 role away from Ramondre Stevenson.
What was your question?
Like, do you agree with that?
Oh, okay. No, I do. I mean, I have him on one of my fantasy teams, and he's been on the bench. So
me as well.
So I'm hoping that what you said actually happens, that he gets more bulk of the carry since the other running back has been fumbling. But yeah,
it's interesting because Henderson got 11 carries last week, whereas Stevenson only got 4. That's very interesting.
That is. Well, maybe it's starting, right? Maybe it's starting because
I just think the numbers aren't there yet, but the touches, I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah, that is, especially because Stevenson still unless it changed today, but last time I looked, which was this past weekend, that Stevenson's still labeled as the RB1. So,
it's still labeled that right now.
Yeah, he's still the RB1, but there you go. There's evidence that this week it started the transition where he might be just getting more and more of those carries because Stevenson's not been getting the job done. So,
well, for my fantasy team's sake, I hope that happens. Everyone, another man loses his job, but shoot, I need this money. So,
well said. All All right. Well, I think we're ready for some prescriptions. What do you think?
Yes, sir.
All right. Does the sports enthusiast want to deal out the first script?
All right. Well, after talking about this, you guys made me a little bit more weary on this, but I was going to take a big one on taking Trey Benson. Well, that's his money line, but it's anytime TD. That is not supposed to say money line. And Los Angeles Chargers money line and Green Bay Packers money line. The Trey Benson one is obviously the biggest risk, but I feel like they're not going to get shut out against Seattle. Someone's got to score. So I'm hoping that he gets the ball. He's the James Conner's replacement and starting running back for the Arizona Cardinals, for those of you that aren't aware of that. He's the only running back. He is their guy. So
I don't hate it. I mean, plus 105, those odds are still pretty damn good. I mean, if you think about it, plus 105 tells me it's likely to happen. You know, it's not like our D-Hop bet that we were thinking about taking over the weekend. For those of you listening, you know, over the weekend, you know, some of the intriguing anytime touchdown scores like D-Hop at plus 375 were available. Glad we didn't take it because it didn't happen, but it's interesting. So plus 105, I think is very possible.
Yep.
Yeah,
sure.
1,000%. And it's a divisional game, so those are going to be closer than we think. So they have to score somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely agree.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
I like it.
I mean, we're not winning a lot of money, but you know, I don't hate it.
Well, that's okay. We need some safe ones like this, and then your boy can take care of the payout. All right? Because listen, NFL football, right? Weeks 1 through 4, they're not as predictable. Okay, they're not as predictable weeks 1 through 4. So, you know, there's a lot of trial and error. But we're in week 5 in college football. And that's why we're going with the college football prescription parlay this week, gentlemen. And what we have here, if we're betting on Fanatics, we even have a 25% profit boost. We have Ohio State money line, LSU money line, Indiana money line, San Diego State money line, and then, yes, I'm taking the Oregon Ducks over the Nittany Lions in the whiteout at Happy Valley to get us 10 to win 178 with that profit boost. What are we thinking?
Oregon in Penn State.
Yep, I did it. I went there. So, listen, talk to me.
I love Ohio State beating Washington. I think that's going to happen. I'm intrigued with LSU and Ole Miss, dude. LSU
that is what I'm scared. I'm more scared of LSU. I'm serious. I'm more scared, and they're the underdog. LSU is 4 versus Ole Miss at 15, but they're at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is the favorite at minus 115.
Yeah.
I'm more scared of this LSU bet than I am the Oregon over Penn State because
I mean, Oregon's walking into that. I don't know about that.
Listen to me. I understand Happy Valley's wide out is intimidating. However, they've played no one. Of 136 starting quarterbacks in college football, their quarterback, who's supposed to be a top candidate, is ranked in the bottom 130 across multiple stats as per Pat McAfee earlier today. So my point is Oregon has played some standout opponents, and Penn State, very, very, very easy schedule. Very easy schedule as of yet. It's one of the easiest in all of college football. And in the first 3 weeks, it was walkover teams. I just question, are the Oregon Ducks truly able, are the Penn State Nittany Lions able to now go in there and their first big-time opponent this year, the Oregon Ducks, and be able to beat them? The Ducks look good. And you have to think, I don't think a team that is ranked in the bottom 5% of third down conversions can beat a high-powered Oregon Ducks team. You need to get first downs. You need to be able to score points. I don't care how good that defense is because Oregon's going to keep the pressure on. So I like the Ducks here.
Okay.
That's not. Yeah, I don't mind that one.
It's a good reasoning.
I actually do think Oregon I think Oregon pulled that one out. It's the Ole Miss one that I'm just like, ooh, I don't know.
So, do you think Ole Miss is going to win? Because listen, I was going back and forth on this, and then I went with LSU because they paid out more. Like how you can flip a coin.
I don't think LSU has paid anybody this year, and when they have, and the people that they've played, it just hasn't been convincing.
No,
that's my only reservation. They haven't really paid anyone, and the people they played, it hasn't been convincing. Just looking at it now.
As you're looking that up, I just want to say this: Lane Kiffin, right? The many lives of Lane Kiffin documentary coming out. It's a whole big thing. The guy, this is the head coach of Ole Miss. For those listeners who are not aware, he has been pivotal in football, both the pros back with the Raiders and drafting Jamarcus Russell when he wanted, Calvin Johnson and that whole era, and then in college football with USC. This guy has been a staple in all of college football. Thank you. That's a great graphic right there. And the thing is that I root for Lane Kiffin. I'd like to see him succeed. The problem is, like, if I could choose who I want to win here, take my bet aside, I want to see Ole Miss beat number 4 LSU. The problem is that Lane Kiffin and his team just never gets it done. And this is the time where they need to get it done. And now there's all these other things you guys hear about his daughter.
Lane Kiffin's daughter?
Yeah. So his daughter is now dating, and it just came out, of course, this week. Thank you, Pat McAfee, for this information. His daughter is now dating the starting linebacker for LSU, and it's been all over. So he's got these distractions of his daughter now dating the enemy. You got all these different things going on with Louisiana, Mississippi. I think this is the most exciting game of the week. Aside from this particular battle,
that's motivation. I'd want to crush my daughter's boyfriend. I would. That's motivation on my end. But here's a couple of things. I'm a Lane Kiffin fan because Lane Kiffin coached at my alma mater, Go Owls, FAU. Didn't have a lot of success there, but still, I root for the man ever since he did that and had that small stint there.
Lane Kiffin is good for football.
Boyfriend versus
LSU, week one. week one, LSU played La Tech, dude. La Tech. You know what the score of that game was? 23-7. LSU doesn't convince me with that win. All right, then let's see what the week after. LSU plays Florida, dude. Florida is trash this year. The score of that game, 20-10, dude. And then they finally get a blowout win against Sela. I don't even S-E-La. You know what I mean? A no-name school. 56-10. But it's dude, look at the teams they're playing. These should be 60-0 games. So it just has me concerned as to what LSU team I'm getting playing against Ole Miss.
I agree with you. I will just say one thing as devil's advocate. The Florida Gators, I think, are extremely underrated in SEC rivalry matchups, right? The LSU Florida, that's a bang bang type of matchup. LSU still came out on top. All three of us on here, big Miami fans. Okay, the U. All right. We expected big things from them this year. They also struggled early. They pulled away at the end of that game. But, dude, first 3 quarters, that was too close for comfort if you're a fan playing against the Florida Gators. So I think that if the LSU Tigers can get out early and start scoring early on Ole Miss, I think they have a shot. I do. But I will say, aside from this parlay, I'm all about the Rebels. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. So we'll see.
All right.
Last thing I want to say, this has got to be the best week for college football we've seen in a while. There are so many multiple ranked teams playing. This is going to be an exciting Saturday.
Yeah, and to your point, I just want to do a quick rapid fire, and then we can close things out. There are some good games this weekend, so I just want to throw out some teams. Let me know who you guys got. We have number 21 USC versus number 23 Illinois.
Yeah. You know what? This is only USC's second year in the Big Ten. You're still not welcome. We're going to go with Illinois.
Illinois. I like it.
Okay. I'm going with USC. I think we have it down for LSU Ole Miss. We're all pulling for Ole Miss or
minus the
bet.
The parlay. I mean, listen, for those listening, if you want to take Ole Miss over this, like the payout's gonna be a little bit less. It's number 4. It's number 4 versus number 15, so it's going to be a great game. I'd like to see Lane Kiffin finally get a very big win. Let's get Ole Miss in the top 7. Okay, let's get them in the top 7 this week by beating LSU.
Mm-hmm. Chris, Ole Miss.
It's so tough. I want to see Ole Miss win. It's tough. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Ole Miss.
Okay. Number 17, Bama. Number 5, Georgia.
Yes. Georgia.
Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Landslide. Kirby Smart is gonna roll over the Crimson Tide. There's no roll tide here. It's all Bulldogs.
And then last one we'll wrap it up with was the Oregon Penn State.
You guys are convincing me. You guys are convincing me with this Oregon. I did look it up. I will say you're right on the fact that Penn State has not played any significant matchup yet that really shows who they are this year. I could see Oregon going in there with the upset, but I don't think it's going to be easy.
No, and it's never playing that Penn State defense when Penn State's at home.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
But I this is the year for Oregon to go into some of these staple Big Ten teams as part of the Big Ten and just roll them over. All right. Mm-hmm. The last time they were rolling over teams, they were still part of that Pac-12, right? When it was them and Washington really butting heads. It was the Bo Nix versus Michael Penix. This is the year that I think that they put their stamp on the Big Ten with a big win over Penn State.
Yeah, I'm going Oregon.
I like it.
What do you think, the legend?
Yeah, I'm going Oregon. I Penn State, until I can see them get it done, I just, against a quality opponent, I still have my reservations. And I think Oregon's playing with house money. Like I don't feel like Oregon's expectations are the same as Penn State. Penn State was pinned to be favorites for national championship this year. They're one of the few teams to be favorites for that. So I think more pressure's on them to actually
absolutely
play up to par than Oregon. So I think with that, Oregon plays with house money and goes in there more relaxed and potentially pulls that game out.
If Penn State loses this game, next week we're going to be talking about Coach Franklin on the hot seat, dude, for Penn State. How many times is he going to not get the job done? Last question for me. I find this game more intriguing than most. The unranked Arkansas Razorbacks are home to host the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Guys, don't sleep on this game. This is one where, like, when you're making that parlay and you're feeling like you want to throw in an upset, this could be the one. This could be the one because despite the abysmal football play from the Fighting Irish this year, they're still ranked, and I think that they're getting more credit than they deserve at this point. The Razorbacks have played every single ranked team tough this year. I think that the Razorbacks have a great opportunity to upset the Fighting Irish.
No way. No way.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Notre Dame.
No way.
I'm sticking with Notre Dame.
Great points, but no way.
All right. We'll be revisiting this next week, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome. Well, we want to thank everyone for stopping in and listening to our show this Wednesday evening. For CJ, the sports enthusiast, Dr. MGB, the legend, I'm Dr. Mikey B, and this is